here on Kababayan LA, we help Kababayans not just to survive here in the U.S., but also to thrive. And today on the show, we're giving you a lot of tips that affect our daily life here in the U.S. One very important thing, since a lot of us, it is graduation season, rather, let's talk about post-commencement stress disorder. It is real, according to our guest today, Dr. Bernard Luskin, Chief Executive Officer of Touro University Worldwide. Hello and welcome to Kababayan LA.
Nice to be here. Hello to you.
In fact, Dr. Luskin wrote an article on Psychology Today. He has a column there, and in one of those columns, you wrote about post-commencement stress disorder. What is that?
It's a traumatic experience, you know. Post-traumatic stress disorder cuts across many fields. Post-commencement stress disorder is generally related to people who are graduating from college or a university, and it's a new experience that affects people individually, and then there are social pressures that come down.
Graduation is always something that we celebrate. We look at it as something like a milestone in one's life, and so we're very happy about it. But how real is this disorder?
It's very real. You know, graduation, commencement creates a new reality. I mean, with many people who don't have a future planned, it creates a lot of fear and anxiety, sleeplessness, stress. It's really a condition that needs to be dealt with.
And so whether this is happening to you or to a loved one or a friend, we need to know the symptoms so we know what to do about it. What are the symptoms of PCSD?
Basically, when you get a sense of fear and anxiety, sleeplessness, irritability, comes with being unable to find a job or figure out what you're going to do next, becoming, you know, well, that's one of the sports is a solution, because you've got to, you know, avoidance is probably a negative characteristic. People just kind of back off, and they're like a deer in the headlights. They're lost unless they have some kind of an idea about what they're going to do.
For parents out there, what are the symptoms that they need to look out for among their kids?
When they begin to stay home and don't want to go out, begin not to want to feel closed in, I think just avoidance, irritability is a big factor. I mean, irritability is a function of behavior. People who don't get enough rest become irritable, and it becomes a problem. And I'm sure that if people are living at home and they want to go to work or something, which is a major problem today, that there's an experience there. I just read a statistic from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that said in terms of the graduates, somewhere about 35 to 40% of the college graduates are going home to stay at home now because they have no place to go or no place to work. That creates a lot of anxiety and stress.
Yeah, I was even talking to some friends of mine. They're lawyers, and they're talking about how at a certain law school, it's more common now to find like job postings on billboards looking for like chauffeurs. Stuff like that, which is not even related to, you know, what you're studying.
You know, they get any kind of work they can. You know,
right.
People that are traumatized, first place they have to have some place to go. Part of the individual's behavior is related to whether they have some sort of a support system or not. A lot of people come out with large student loans, big debt, fear of making payments, and if they're alone, you know, more than half of the graduates today come from broken homes, and so there's no real family to fall on. They're falling down when they graduate. So the new reality is pretty stark.
Okay, what can we do about it? Right now, obviously, the economy is still bad. They say it's recovering, but very, very slowly. Still high percentage of unemployment. That's something that we really can't do anything about. But in order to treat or at least solve or address post-commencement stress disorder, what can we do? Well,
the first thing to do is to take a step forward and make a plan. And then people have to be realistic with themselves. You know, that's part of it. There's a lot of denial that goes on. So if you have a plan and you're realistic, and kind of look to the future, look ahead. Positive psychology is a plus.
How far ahead should we look? Should we do 6 months, 1 year, 2 years?
Well, I think in 6-month intervals, that's probably good. In 6 months, you can make something happen. It takes a little time, but it's a way to set an objective for something you can do.
Aside from making a plan, you also wrote here, keep priorities in perspective.
you got to keep your priorities in perspective. If you don't have your priorities in perspective, you don't know what to do when you're lost. So you really have to make a task list, do things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, be realistic and kind of, to be really kind of straightforward, just confront the future, because you have to pull out and enter the new reality.
All right. Thank you so much for that information. How can we get in touch with you? How can we get more information about this?
Well, my website, my personal website as a therapist is www.luskininternational.com, or you can email me at bernieluskin@gmail.com.
And hopefully we can also get your email address on the website, luskininternational.com.
That would be good.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thank you for being here.
More power to you.
Right. Bye-bye.
And more tips when we return on the show this time for summer getaways. Don't go away.